Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. I had to get the door. As soon as I got started, somebody came to the door. So um, we can get started now. So we're going to be doing another live stream a little later on a different topic that has come up that I want to bring to your attention. So I'll be getting that posted probably in the next hour or two. And I would say it will be like around 6 or 7 this evening. Okay, so let's get into the topic that we are here for. Shalom to everybody in the chat. All right. Okay, so if you don't know who this is the lieutenant governor in North Carolina. And he is recently back in the news. You know, this man, he does what we see all Negro peons doing.
Every chance they get, they want to talk disparagingly in front of the cameras about their own people. And, he really believes this is going to score points for him and he'll win the election. And all I have to say, down in North Carolina, my black family down there, look, if this man wins, I believe the black community will be in a lot of danger because you'll have a person in charge that won't care about you at all. See, he's going to try to impress them folks by acting like he's completely unconcerned about us. So let's get into it. So, GOP candidate for North Carolina blasts public spending as his family's nonprofit rakes in taxpayer funds. So he's doing what we see his type doing all the time, being a bunch of hypocrites as usual. So, in his bid to become North Carolina's first black governor, which is never going to happen, Republican Mark Robinson assails government safety. And, he refers to the government safety net spending as plantation welfare and victimhood. Everything that happens, he's got to find a way to link it to the black community and criticize us as if nobody else is down in North Carolina that's using any type of government assistance, you know. But it's not even about that. I don't even know why he said that. Then that has marred generations of black people in dependency and poverty. So, Mark Robinson, there are no poor white people down in North Carolina. There's none, huh? But the lieutenant governor's political rise wouldn't have been possible without it. Over the past decades, Robinson's household relied on income from Balanced Nutrition Inc., so welfare. Mark Robinson is dragging the black community for being on welfare, and he himself had to use assistance. Pot calling the kettle black all day long. A nonprofit founded by his wife, Yolanda Hill, that administered free lunch programs for North Carolina children, an organization funded entirely by taxpayers, has collected roughly $7 million in government funding since 2017, while paying out at least $830,000 in salaries to Hill, Robinson, and other members of their family. Tax filings and state documents show. So him and his family, his wife, himself, and other family members racked up $830,000 in taxpayer money. Income offered the Robinsons a degree of stability after decades of struggle that included multiple bankruptcies, home foreclosures, and misdemeanor charges, later dropped for writing bad checks. Wow. So Mark Robinson and his family were writing bad checks. In Robinson's telling, the financial turnaround provided the organization also allowed for his ascent into the North Carolina government. Yolanda's nonprofit was providing a salary for her that was enough to support us. Robinson wrote in his 2022 memoir, noting its growth gave him the freedom to quit his furniture manufacturing job in 2018 and begin a career in populist conservative politics. I either was making speeches or I was downtown with my wife at her office, helping her with her work. Okay. He wrote of juggling his early political activity with Balanced Nutrition, which records indicate him paying about $40,000. All right. So this organization that his wife belongs to paid him $40,000 in 2018. Hmm. When I ran for office, I stopped doing that. Now my son does it. Yet now, in the closing months of the swing state campaign, the nonprofit that provided the family a vital lifeline has become a political liability. So, something he depended on to feed his family when he was down and out, he is now criticizing other Black people for using it. You see what this man is, a con artist. He is. He's a con artist. So, anyway, the scrutiny adds to Robinson's challenges. He's already drawn negative attention for his history of inflammatory comments that include calling the First Lady, Michelle Obama, a man and using the word filth when discussing gay and transgender people. Robinson would oversee the state budget of more than $30 billion if elected governor, has denied any wrongdoing and blasts the inquiry. And they should be investigating his butt. Okay, wait, when you used it, it helped provide and help you take care of your family, right? But when anybody else use it, they're wrong for using it. This is what he's saying. It's okay for him to get assistance from the state, but not for any other Black person down in North Carolina. If you're using assistance to get by, it's wrong. This man is really truly is garbage for real. So, and they should take a second look at his butt. And I hope they do. So in March, state regulators launched a probe of the organization's finances after flagging years of financial irregularities, including over $100,000 in unaccounted for spending. All right, so they're taking a look at him. So his campaign denied to make him or any of his family members available for interview, but campaign spokesperson Michael Lonergan defended balanced nutrition work, citing a routine audit that didn't find any material weakness in the organization in 2021's finances. Robinson is proud of his work that he's done with his wife to help needy children get nutritious meals. Democrats are weaponizing a bureaucracy against the family and their political opponent. Well, they are, because he's standing there being a hypocrite. So he is dragging Black men and women and children down there in North Carolina for using assistance that he had to use when his family was down and out. You could make this up if you wanted to. All right, so he goes on to say, I grew up poor. Robinson said he frequently detailing his childhood as a son of an alcoholic father who died when he was in elementary school. He recounts that he lost my car, my home. I was forced into bankruptcy and I lost my job. Not once, but twice. Like you, I don't need a politician to tell me what to be worried about, he said, noting his money woes. Indeed, from the 1990s until recent years, Robinson and Hill, who's his wife, endured extended financial struggles, but one that's more complicated than what he has usually told his voters. The couple declared bankruptcy 3 times between 1998 and 2003 and failed to file federal income tax for 5 years until compelled to do so during a bankruptcy proceeding. They left behind a trail of grieved creditors, including the Girl Scouts, Wow, y'all swindled the Girl Scouts. Court documents show them their former landlord, whose wife was dying of cancer when the Robinson shorted them $2,000 in rent, according to the local news account and documents from 2012. A bankruptcy judge rejected the 2003 bankruptcy case after Robinson failed to make payments to their creditors that they agreed to in court. The case ended up with Robinson Hill having to pay $9,000 on about 71,000 in debt payments negotiated through the bankruptcy court. So this man he's garbage. He really is. I can't stand people like him. It's no different than Candace Owens, and boy, you really don't hear from her anymore since them folks kicked her butt to the curb. You don't hear much about her at all. Before, you would see her in the media here and there, but now they have taken their sights off of Candace Owens and they have moved on for real. Right now, she'll have to do something super outrageous to get back in the media. And I don't think they're interested in her anymore. You got to look at who owns the media outlet. And you got old pork chop here thinking he's going to trash assistance that he was once on. But if Black people are using it in North Carolina, then, they are living in a life of victimhood. Oh, but you weren't living in a life of victimhood when you were using it. Boy, you can't make this stuff up about these folks. Seriously, y'all. You can't make it up. But y'all tell me what you think, because I hope this man lose. I don't think he's going to win anyway. The man that he's running against for the Democratic Party, he's a white man. And Robinson has not been able to really get ahead of this man at all. And to be honest with you, I think that's going to be their new governor down there. I seriously doubt if a lot of those GOP voters in North Carolina are going to back this man. I don't see it happening. So he's doing all of this bootlick stuff, all for naught, for real. All for nothing. He'll learn the hard way. And never take your sights off of what they did to Candace. Candace was flying high for several years, and they have kicked her down to nothing. And you think they won't do the same thing to Mark Robinson? Of course they will. Because, he'll be looking for another job if he don't win, the election. He'll be looking for another job again. And you might need that assistance that you're sitting there criticizing. Now what I mean? Where are you going to get them pork chop dinners from? That's all I got to say about this old slimy man. And Trump had the nerve to call this man Dr. Martin Luther King on steroids. Mark Robinson is nothing like Dr. Martin Luther King. In fact, he criticized Dr. Martin Luther King. So how could he be like Dr. Martin Luther King? Dr. Martin Luther King would not like this man if he had lived. He would not like the Mark Robinsons at all. So, y'all, that's all I have for you on this subject matter, but we'll be back a little later this evening because I got another one for you. And I hope you are all there to hear this one. I think, especially many of you that are in the truth, you will get a kick out of what I'm going to tell you. So, y'all, please enjoy the rest of your day, family. Shalom.